I am fantastic. I'm fabulous. It's Friday night. It's the end of the week. And I say, let's crack open a bottle of something.
Why not? Keep this lockdown interesting.
Yes. Now, Back to Me is out. And I've got to say, congratulations. What a fantastic piece of work. What's so different about this album
Thank you.
for you?
I feel this album is my heart and my soul. It's the album that I feel defines me as an artist. Like it's the first time in a long time that I've actually released music that I'm 100% proud of and 100% happy with.
And how many years in the making was this little number?
2 years,
Wow. And I shouldn't say
crazily
little,
enough.
yeah, and I shouldn't say little number because it is quite the collection of songs that you've got there.
It is. 14 all up. There was a lot more that didn't make the cut, but I'm happy with the 14 that I have.
And I guess that's much of the reason behind why you've called it chapter one.
It is. I'm sort of going into chapter two without using much of the leftover for the first one because I want it to be another fresh perspective. But yeah, it's definitely going to be two chapters.
Now, tell us about the first track that you released on the album, Back to Me. What was the writing process like for this track?
It was fun. Going into it, it was a very different story to what it is now. It was sort of a middle finger to someone in my life at that time. And it was good to just get that out of my system and in a way make it a positive experience by turning it into a song. But now the song has a completely different meaning and it sort of reflects me singing to the inner demons that I'd been living with over the last 2 years and the ones that were holding me back, making me feel like I was captive in my own body. So Back to Me sort of represents that standpoint of freedom that I'm going into for this whole new era of music. And it was fun. It was a really good experience.
And for Turner, when you are writing a song, do you have a special place that you go to?
Sometimes it depends on the song. Sometimes I like to be in the moment, and then there's other times I like to go back to the moment. If that makes sense, like I like to be in the moment of just like making that song, and then there's other times I really do go back to the moment that I'm writing about in story time, per se.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, it's an incredible track. And what else is also incredible is this video that you've made that goes with the track. It really is something.
Thank you.
And for me, I had to watch it a couple of times. And every time I watched it, it was just getting better and better each time. What was it like making this clip?
It was really fun. It was a really fun day. Like we went into it with a plan, like no plan necessarily. Like we had an idea of what we wanted, but once we got to the location and we started rolling with it, that's just basically what we did. We wanted the song to kind of tell the story instead of forcing a story. And I think that we accomplished that. I think we accomplished that.
Oh, look, I think you certainly did. And how did you go with the casting? Was it hard to cast?
No, not really. The extra in the music video is my partner, so that was quite easy to do.
And what about the surroundings and things like that?
Well, it was actually filmed in one of my friend's houses, so
Wow.
it was all pretty easy. Like it all fell into place really well.
And is it stressful as an artist that you've put this great song out there and then you've got to go and make a film clip? And I'm sure there's lots of anxiety that comes with that because you've got to organize everything and make sure that the director is on the same page with you. And there's lots of going backwards and forwards. And I'm sure at some stage it must get so frustrating for you. How does it work for you?
It can be frustrating. It's more the build up
Yeah.
and because we literally like it was only a week prior that we decided to be like,
Whoa.
yeah, we're going to do this video. And there was a week till the release, and it was like, yeah, let's just go into it and do it. But it was stressful probably the first 3 days leading up to it. But then as it got closer, it kind of just became more, I've done this before. There's nothing to be stressed about.
And it's I'm going to say, Turner, it's quite different to anything that you've done previously as well. This really stands out, and it's standing all alone. And I'm just wondering if what is next to come is going to be similar to what we've just experienced.
I wouldn't say similar.
Okay.
The same pocket maybe, but not similar. Like we've just started this week, like going back and forth being the video director on what we want for the next video. So that's going to be interesting. Like I'm really liking the ideas, but it's all like the whole album and the first single, and then the second single that's to come. I want it to be like a rebirth moment. Whereas like you just said, and thank you for that it's standalone from anything else I've done. That's what I want this whole chapter to be, very left of center of anything I've done, and me, 100% and authentically me.
And I've really been enjoying the vocal tones. And for me, it's like your voice it's kind of matured, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah, it really is something that you can listen to over and over again, because your voice is distinguishingly different as opposed to some artists where all their songs just sound the same. The beats are the same. The lyrics have a similar style to them. But with you, it's like the surprise punch every single track, and you never know what you're going to get. And that's what I really look for in an album.
Yeah, I think it comes from, I've said it my whole career, like since I was a child even, I have what I call musical bipolar, where it's sort of like I can't have an album. Well, I've done it before where it all fits in the one pocket of a genre. Whereas this one, I just wanted it to be a hand in everything that I've been working on in my career. Like I wanted there to be like that bluesy sound. I wanted there to be a pop sound, acoustic, very like easy listening, and like a little bit of a rock vibe in some parts even. But I wanted it to be very like a journey, how my head goes like a journey. Because that's what the whole process of this album has been, a massive journey. So I think that's where all those different sounds and stuff have come from over the last 2 years.
And chapter 1 is maybe tour material, do you think?
I'm hoping so. We had a tour, like we started the motion and planning, and I had shows lined up for like starting at the end of this month. And Sydney went into lockdown and tour plans went, see ya. So it's like, hopefully that we get all this under control and I can actually get on the road and do that, because I'm hanging to do these songs live.
And I hope to God that you've got Melbourne on your radar.
Definitely, there's a big tick where that one is.
Oh, good, because every time we chat, I know I bring it up with you, and that's just because we want you down here.
I really want to come down there. I haven't really played shows down there in a very long time, so let's get COVID out of the way, guys, and make this happen.
Absolutely, because we've got the great stages, we've got the great food, we've got the great wine, the great coffee, and you're all sorted, I say.
Great fashion. It's like my dream is to one day live in Melbourne. So,
well, put it out there, and you'll be amazed what the universe can deliver.
That's true.
So tours on the back burner. You've got a few more film clips you're going to release. What else is on the agenda for Turner in 2021?
There's a few things, like there's quite a few things. I'd like to get back into maybe doing a talk show online or something. Maybe I've been throwing that idea around for a few months now, but it's like, I want to just stick with this project for a little bit and really be an element of this and give it its utmost respect and dedication that I think it deserves. But I have sneakily, I can't really say too much because I don't want to get in trouble for saying it, but there is a little reality show that I may or may not have applied for. And yeah, there's a few little things like that in the cards and in the works. So fingers crossed. We'll just say that, fingers crossed.
And how's the reception been since the release of Back to Me?
Really positive. I haven't really had much of a response with the previous work that I've done, but this one has been a whirlwind. Like every day there's a different person messaging me and they're like, oh, this song has made me rethink and relive my story. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted people to take away from it their own story and their own stamp and make the song their own in their own reality. So when you hear compliments like that, I think that's the biggest accomplishment for a musician.
It certainly is. And I've been seeing you pop up on radio stations all around the place.
I know, it's been crazy. It's been a very crazy week since releasing it.
So, Turner, we know that last year in 2020, you did start a talk show. We were just talking about talk shows.
Yes.
And it was Amy Winehouse. Do you think that Amy may come out of the closet again at some time in the not too distant future?
I think she definitely will. Like there's no doubt about that in my mind at all. But for now, I'm kind of just enjoying being myself, because doing the whole Amy thing last year and doing it so much like I was, then I kind of lost my own identity for a little while there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to be back to my own identity for the moment.
Yeah. And you've also been taking on some other identities as well on Instagram and also Facebook, singing covers for Homegrown. And you did 2 covers that absolutely impressed me. One of them was a Michael Bublé song, and the other one was a Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
I had to look twice. I had no idea, Turner, that you had these vocal tones. Where on earth have these vocal tones been hiding all these years?
I don't know, really. Like, jazz has always been a huge part of my life and a huge influence in my life. Like Frank Sinatra, hands down, is probably one of my all-time favorite male vocalists. And I think it just comes from all the years of listening and singing along to him. I've always wanted to do a jazz album of Frank songs. So it's kind of come from there, I think. I don't know, like a lot of people have asked that. They're like, we would never have expected this. And it's like something I've always just sat on and never really wanted to share with the world.
Wow.
But I felt like it was time.
It is incredible. I am lost for words, as you can see. If I was not facing the computer and was looking the other way and someone pressed play, I would have no idea whatsoever that it was Turner.
Well, I take that as a big compliment, because it's nice to know that, you know, I can do different things. I keep getting told a lot on this promotional tour, I'll say, because that's what I'm calling it. This is my promotional tour, radio interviews.
Yeah.
It's been very like, I keep getting called a chameleon. And I'm like, I'll take that, because I think that all musicians need to be that.
Absolutely. And one really good quality that you have, Turner, is that you can manage to reinvent yourself every single time. And you're kind of one step ahead of the rest of us. And that's why it's such a big shock.
Oh, thank you. I like that. I'll take that too.
Yeah. You can take it, because it's well deserved. And it's certainly, your talent is really starting to shine through in this latest release.
Thank you so much. That really means the most to me, because this album I was very nervous about releasing. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm so proud of it. And I think that's what made me so nervous, was like, oh, I love it, but are other people going to? And to know that other people are loving it so far, it's the biggest blessing and reward.
And where can people go to order a copy of this release?
They can jump onto my Instagram, which is at Turner_music_official, or head over to my Facebook page, Turner Official, and just send me a message and exchange our details, and
it's also on all streaming services.
It is indeed.
So go and check it out, folks. You'll find him on Spotify and all those other great places where you get your music. Go and check him out. Great music. Back to me. Thanks, Turner.
Thank you for having me. I just want to say a huge thank you, especially to you, for all the support you've shown over the last, I think it's been a year now that we've been in contact. And you've honestly been such a supporter, and that honestly, you give me life, Maddie, you give me life. And I'm genuinely so humbled to know you and thankful to know you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Beautiful comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Letting go of my past was one of the hardest things I had to do. But I truly had to lose myself to find my way. Now I'm back to me.